Obedience to the law is optional.
Criminality must stop.
My God, I hate drugs.
I, Rodrigo Roa Duterte, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and conscientiously fulfill my duties as President of the Philippines, preserve the Constitution, execute the laws, do justice to every man, and consecrate myself to the service of the nation. So help me God. No leader, however strong, can succeed at anything of national importance or significance unless he has the support and cooperation of the people he is tasked to lead and sworn to serve. Ours is a problem that dampens the human spirit, but all is not lost. I know the limits of the power and authority of the President. I know what is legal and what is not. My adherence to due process and the rule of law is uncompromising. Malasakit, tunay na pagbabago, tinud-anay ang kausaban. These were battle cries articulated by me in behalf of a people hungry for genuine and meaningful change. But that change, if it is to be permanent and significant, must start with us and in us. We have become our own worst enemies, and we must have the courage and the will to change ourselves. Love of country, subordination of personal interests to the common good, concern and care for the helpless and the impoverished. These are among the lost and faded values that we seek to recover and revitalize as we commence our journey towards a better Philippines. Together, shoulder to shoulder, let us take the first wobbly steps in this quest. I was not elected to serve the interest of any person, any group, or any one class. I serve everyone and not only one. The test of government is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide for those who have little. I have no friends to serve. I have no enemies to harm. I now ask everyone, and I mean everyone, to join me as we embark on this crusade for a better and brighter tomorrow. I am ready to start my work for the nation.
In life, the significance of 50 is the completion of one stage. To some, it is the beginning of real happiness. At para sa ating Pangulong si President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, his first 50 days in office is a golden moment dahil wala siyang sinayang na precious days at lahat ng ginawa niya ay regalo sa ating lahat. Of course, we're happy to look back sa mabilis niyang aksyon to fulfill his promises.
Droga must stop. Criminality must stop.
My God, I hate drugs.
Duterte has made it clear from the onset, he hates drugs, and he will stop at nothing to remove its clutches from the country. And he is doing just that. From the very first day of his term, the President warned the public in no uncertain terms about the drug menace.
He came upon names na kaibigan niya at saka tumulong talaga sa kanya. Sabi niya, napahinto siya. Alam niyo, ito, kilala ko talaga itong meaning. Kaibigan niya, he is the father of the nation. Well, he has to correct erring members of the family, members of the nation. At saka isa pa, hindi siya mamamatay tao. Hindi yung sinasabi niya na magpapatay ako ng 100,000, hindi yan. Just trying to impress a message ba sa mga tao na huwag kayong mag-indulge sa droga dahil talagang masama yan at saka ayaw ko niyan. I will do everything to eliminate itong drugs na ito. Pero kung hindi yung sinasabi na extrajudicial killings, hindi naman totoo yan. Kasi mabasa mo ngayon sa newspaper, he is also bothered.
That's the reason why General Ronald Bato de la Rosa was handpicked by the President to be a partner for change.
So I take this as a God-given mission to become President Duterte's right-hand man in his fight against drugs, criminality, and corruption in order to provide each and every Filipino a safe, secured, and comfortable life.
What ensued was a decisive move to what the President described as his firm resolve to destroy the apparatus of the drug menace.
Isang top drug personality po sa Central Visayas.
Ang isang big-time drug lord at Shabu laboratory operator na si Meko Tana.
Isang notorious drug dealer na umano'y nagsusupply ng mga illegal na droga sa ilang showbiz at diplomatic personalities dito sa Metro Manila.
Although the president is going all out against drugs, and that's it, I will be all out also. Right here in Metro Manila, 92% of crime committed are all drug-related. So this is dangerous. Because without peace and order, we cannot move forward.
Nasagot na ang tanong natin. Tunay siyang matapat. He walks the talk. Kaya lang, ang nilalakaran niyang laban is too dangerous. At alam kong lahat tayo nag-aalala. But if we really want change, we have to make a choice.
The President of the Republic of the Philippines, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Ang unang State of the Nation address ng Pangulo ay nag-focus sa total inclusiveness.
We also endeavor to develop and corporate partnership with nations sharing common interests and concerns with the Philippines, maintain and sustain bilateral and multilateral consultations and dialogues. But you know, I said, I'll be talking in front of the Republic to its representatives, to the people. So I have to tell you, how do we solve this problem? Tell me. We are imbued with resiliency that has been tested and proven. More difficult times as in the past. We have a band to act together. We have to help each other, for then and only then can we truly prevail.
Sabi nila, media performs best when it performs its service to the public, di ba? So to be a partner for change, dapat ang media must continue to make our leaders accountable. At how do you do that? Siyempre, madali na ngayon ang fact-checking. And another one is to make sure that democracy and free expression are upheld. Another is to empower and engage the public sa mas marami pang mga public discussions para sa ganung paraan, lahat ng boses naririnig.
I'm Erwin Tulfo of TV5. I've said it before and I will say it again. He warned us during his campaign that it will be bloody, yet 16 million Filipinos still voted for him. The President has a mission to rid drugs and corruption in the country within 6 months after assuming office. Ang problema, ilan sa atin ay hindi matanggap itong mga pagbabago na nangyayari ngayon. Pero may mandato ang Pangulo sa 16 na milyong kababayan natin na bumoto sa kanya na gawin ang kanyang trabaho. So why not let the man do his job?
Sa usapin ng bilateral at diplomatic ties, makikita natin na ang Pangulo ay tapat na kaibigan. Para sa kanya, walang iwanan kapag ang kausap ay napagkakatiwalaan.
Japanese Foreign Minister Fumio Kishida talked about the support of the Japanese government for the development of Mindanao. During the meeting, an infrastructure loan of $2.24 billion for the railway project from Tutuban to Bulacan and patrol vessels to enhance the Philippine Coast Guard capabilities were agreed upon. President Duterte was particularly sensitive to developed countries that he perceived as limiting or dictating upon developing nations like the Philippines. But he was agreeable when the U.S. Secretary of State discussed the Paris Climate Agreement, as long as it took into consideration Philippine economic plans. The President wants the Philippines to industrialize, to create more jobs, and improve the skills of the country's workforce.
The first mandate that I received from Presidente Rodrigo R. Duterte ay titiyakin na yung ating serbisyo na ibinibigay sa ating mga kababayan and the public, kagaya ng pagpaproseso ng kanilang pasaporte at yung tulong may bigay natin sa ating OFW will be streamlined at may bigay sa napakadaling panahon. Yung main function ng Department of Foreign Affairs, which is to represent the Philippines or the President in the conduct of foreign relations, will be done on an independent and objective, unbiased manner. And this is what we are doing, lalo-lalo na dito sa ating China Sea dispute, dahil nanalo na tayo insofar as the legal basis for our claims dito sa ating exclusive economic zone. Pinipilit natin na we will be able to engage China to make sure na yung ating mangingisda ay talaga makakabalik na sa Scarborough Shoal at i-recognize nila po yung ating karapatan in exercising our rights over the disputed area. In this regard, nakuha na rin natin yung unified statement ng ASEAN.
Isa ring mabuting ama na maituturing si President Rodrigo Roa Duterte dahil he's a good provider. He will not starve the nation.
Mandato po sa atin ng ating mahal na Pangulo ay tulungan lang ang mga mahihirap, ang mga nasa ilalim ng ating lipunan, ang mga maliliit na negosyante, lalo na since tayo ay nasa Department of Trade and Industry, so mga micro, small and medium enterprises para maiangat ang kanilang buhay. Sa Department of Trade and Industry kasi, napaikli na natin ang pagkuha ng mga business names. 10 minutes to 30 minutes na lang yan. Marami tayong kinausap ng mga institutions, mga commercial centers, malls, groceries, supermarkets para bigyan ng libreng espasyo ang mga magagandang SME, micro SME products.
The number one concern of the President was the eradication of the practice of endo as well as that of contractualization. One of the more significant accomplishment of our department is a program which we call the One-Stop Shop, which addresses the problem of our overseas migrant workers.
We're actually conducting a nationwide survey right now of soil suitability all over the country, so that we'll be able to identify which areas could produce what kind of food for the country. Number two, we are also conducting the National Food Consumption Quantification Survey because we would like to know what kind of food do Filipinos eat and where do we produce this kind of food. Third is we are attacking the 10 poorest provinces, 10 every year. We have already identified the first 10 provinces where we will implement the SAAD program. It's called Special Area for Agricultural Development. We are identifying the weaknesses and the strengths of these provinces, and we are putting in extra effort to really lift them up.
Meron na pong mga kaso, mga usapin na deliberate na at may rekomendasyon na ang Park Executive Committee, pero hindi po madesisyonan ng Park kasi hindi na nga po nagmi-meeting. At nung pong banggitin ko kay President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Mr. President, nire-recommenda ko pong ma-convene ang Park, of which the President, ang ex-officio chairman, kaagad po ang tugon ni President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. He immediately directed the Cabinet Secretary, Secretary Leoncio Ibasco Jr., Jun Ibasco, sabi niya, Jun, ikalendaryo mo, ay naasahan natin kauna-unahang pulong ng Park sa ilalim ng Duterte Administration ay magaganap po sa Agosto 22, August 22, 2016, 2 p.m. po sa Malacanang Palace. No? Ang isa pa pong malaking challenge, yung pong may mga CLOA holders po kasi tayo na nananatiling uninstalled. At yan po ay atin po ngayong hinaharap, no? Atin po namang hinahanapan ng agarang solusyon paano sila mabilisang maipoposisyon, no? Sa lupang kanilang sinasaka. Tiniyak po natin na maging mabilis kasi yun po naman ang direktiba ni Presidente Duterte at ng Duterte Administration. Paikliin yung mga proseso. Kaya po, sa unang araw ko, pinabuksan ko po yung 2 main gates ng DAR na 18 taon na nakakadena. At sabi ko po sa ating mga kapatid sa DAR, mga opisyalis at kawani ng DAR, kung may dumarating tayo ng mga magkasaka na nagsasadya sa ating tanggapan, lalo na Central Office, salubungin na natin sila sa pintuan pa lang. No? Magandang araw po sa inyo. Ano po maipaglilingkod ng ating kagawaran? Ano po ang ating mga issue, concerns, problema? At pag magkatuwang po nating hanapan ng solusyon.
The President is not wasting his time. Wala siyang sinasayang na panahon. Mamadali. Halos walang pahinga. Parang may hinakabot ang kinabukasan ng maayos at masaganang bayan.
When we come back, alamin natin ang iba pang nagawa ng Duterte administration sa iba pang sektor ng lipunan.
Mahaba-haba pa ang ating lalakbayin, pero malinaw sa nagmamaneho ang ating patutunguhan. Isang maliwanag na kinabukasan para sa lahat.
Gumawa na kami ng mga programa dito sa DPWH para maging mas transparent ang mga procedures namin. Gumawa po kami ng bagong procurement manual at gumawa rin kami in the first 50 days. Meron na kaming IMAG, ang tinatawag naming IMAG, which is an Infrastructure Monitoring Group. Ang design nito, may kasama po yung mga local officials, mga stakeholders, private sector, at magkakaroon po sila ng meeting para pag-usapan yung mga pangangailangan ng proyekto, para mapabilis yung proyekto, at the same time, para malaman din ng mga stakeholders kung anong status ng mga projects dito sa DPWH. Binanggit po ni President ang gusto niya 24/7 ang construction sa mga projects. So we've already started pushing for that in many of our projects, lalo na po sa mga highly congested areas.
Habang sinasabi niya yung hayaw ng korupsyon, dahilan sa unique peculiarity ng tinatawag na problema natin sa transportation at traffic, ayaw niya makita ng pila. So, tama lang na sinabi niyang ayusin mo ang iyong departamento. Sa pag-ayos mo ng iyong departamento, dapat bigyan mo ng pansin at tukoy na ang tao walang korap. Kung may korap, linisin mo. Huwag kang magdalawang isip pagkat ako'y hindi naniniwala sa korap. Yun ho ang sabi ni Presidente. Ang pangalawa, sabi niya, habang linalagyan mo ng atang o siga, yung alisin yung mga korap, dapat bigyan mo ng direksyon, dapat ligyan mo ng pananaw yung mga publiko, lalo't higit yung kulang kulang sa karangyaan. Ayaw ko ng pila yung mga tao na kung saan humahanap sila ng lisensya o permit at madaming mga requirement. Gusto ko gawin nyo yung ginagawa namin sa Davao, 3 araw. So, sinasabi niya, walang pira, maglagay ka ng infrastruktura. Walang pila, kailangan baguhin mo yung mandanto sa proseso upang mabawasan ang pila. Gawin mo yung mga bagay-bagay na kung saan bibigyan mo ng punto at pansin. Yung mga kinainisan ng tao ng eleksyon. Ano yon? Congestion sa transportasyon. Yung plaka, yung lisensya. Lahat yan. Sabi niya, bigyan mo ng pansin. Yung sa airport, yung tanimbala, tignan mo yan. Lahat. Malawak, malapad. At na very challenging yung marching order na binigay niya po sa akin. Una, meron na ho tayong mga natanggal dito na kung saan may mga nakabinbin na kaso tungkol sa korupsyon. Kung ang pananaw ng tao tumatanggap na kanang regalo kay Juana, sasabihin nila, may areglo ka kay Juana. Alisin yon. Hindi kami tumatanggap ng regalo. Meron tayong pamaraan na kung saan yung mga ticket na gagamitin sa MRT at LRT, maski sa mall, mabibili mo. Meron na hong 75 outlets. In due time, i-release namin para sa kaalaman ng nakakarami kung saan yung 75 outlets na to. Yung plaka at driver's license, 3 taon. Siguro bago matapos yung buwan ng Oktubre ngayong taon na to, lahat ng renewal ng driver's license sa Metro Manila, 5 taon na. Lahat ng renewal ng car plate registration, 5 taon na rin. Gawin na rin natin dito yung pag-manufacture ng plaka upang makontrol natin yung tinatawag na supply and demand sa pangangailangan ng plaka. Kung kinakailangan, imbakin ko yung equipment na kung saan merong analytics, dalhin ko dito, dadalhin at iimbak natin dito yan upang ang produksyon ng plaka dito magawa. Tungkol sa tanimbala, pagkat ako'y naniniwala ng solusyon dyan, simple lang po. Gayahin natin yung patakaran sa mga international airports na kung saan, pag nakakakita ng isang patalim, ang gagawin no, kukunin lang, isosurrender, ilalagay sa plastic, ilalagay sa tabi, umalis ka na. Alin po ba ang mas delikado? Matalim na kutsilyo o balang walang dalang baril na iisang bala? Yung sinabi ko kanila ng Wi-Fi, ito indikasyon ng pakikisa. Inalok ng mga pribado na, we are ready to help. Wala na akong bidding. Yung mga pribado na lang ang gagastos. Sila'y nakikisa. Sa airport, sasabihin natin yung general aviation, nabanggit ko na at babanggitin ko ulit. Upang mapaigting ang espasyo na gamitin sa airport, bawasan natin yung general aviation, kundi alisin natin ang lahat. Alisin natin yung mga jet, yung mga helicopter, na mga charter plane. Iwan na natin for international flight. Maritime. Ang Pilipinas ho ay isang archipelago. Bilang isang archipelago, may isla doon, may isla dito, may isla dyan. Kailangan may connectivity tayo dyan. Sasabihin natin, i-connect mo yan. Tulay. Magtayo ka ng tulay. Napakagandang pakinggan, magandang tignan. Para maitayo mo yung isang tulay na magko-connect halimbawa sa Bohol, saka sa Cebu, abutin tayo ng dekada para makumpleto mo yung tulay na yan. Ano yung immediate connectivity? Magtayo ka ng puerto sa bawat isla na pwedeng daungan ng tinatawag na roro. Yan ho yung mga ginagawa at sinisilip natin ngayon. Ano yung ginagawa natin pangkasalukuyan? We are imposing the law to all. Kaya nga, in the first 50 days that we will be going, until today, 30 days and 1 week and going, hinahabol ho namin yung mga kolorong. Hinahabol ho namin yung mga illegal parking. Nagdidisiplina ho kami ng mga driver na hindi tumutupad sa mga patakaran. Pinahihirapan ko ho yung mga hindi sumusunod.
Stop corruption, better services and faster services. So, in line with that, yung unang nagawa is airport terminal fee is now integrated in the airline ticket, so there will be no more queuing. Second is the 200 pesos Philippine travel tax exemption fee is now being scrapped. Ito ay makakatulong sa ating mga kababayan na OFW and their dependents. I would like to develop the underdeveloped destinations and making sure that the communities there will earn livelihood. It's not only the airline that should make money, not only the travel agency, the tour operators, the hotel owners, but also the people in the community. I'll have to make sure that we will have to give them training so that they will be prepared when tourists would come. DOT can be a partner for change. When we start with our family, we start with our friends, tell them to come and visit the Philippines. We have 7,100 islands, take your pick. And this is what I've been doing for the past week. I've been to Thailand. I went and meet the tour operators there, and I asked them to come and visit the Philippines. And they agreed to come sometime before the end of the year. I also went to the U.S. and I talked with the Filipino-American communities there, and I told them, come and visit your native land. And they sure told me that they would come. If the Miss Universe beauty pageant will be held in the Philippines, we will be in the world map, and the people, they would see how beautiful our country is. We have so much to offer. We have beautiful beaches, we have mountain resorts, food is cheap, shopping is cheap. We have everything that one can offer.
Mamaya, itutuloy natin ang magandang kwentuhang ito.
Para sa isang pinuno, yung unang 50 araw na makita ng mga pinamumunuan mo, ng mga nasasakupan mo na inumpisahan mo nang ipatupad yung mga pinangako mong ipatutupad, ay sapat na. Pero siyempre, hindi lang naman 50 araw ang pagiging presidente, 6 na taon yan. Yun ang aabangan natin.
President Duterte, maraming salamat po kasi nagkaroon na po ng curfew, tapos po hindi na po delikado sa mga kalsada. Sana po matupad po yung 6 months na sinasabi nyo po, tas keep up the good work po, President.
May emergency ka, dial 911, the National Emergency Hotline. Focus, hard work, and passion ang mga sangkap sa pag-abot ng pangarap. Matuto at ma-inspire sa kwento ng mga Pinoy entrepreneurs. Start earning for yourself. This is your time to make a change and make a difference. All this and more at Entrep TV. Proud to be Entrepinoy.
And Sunday ay magsisimula na po ang maulan na panahon. Ilang bagyo ba ang ating maaaring maranasan ngayong buwan? Sisikat po ang ating araw, 5:46 ng umaga.
Yung po mga lalabas ng bahay ngayon, ugalin na po natin na magdala ng payong panangga po yan sa mga biglang pagbuhos ng ulan.
Ang high pressure area ay isa pong lugar sa atmosphere kung saan mataas ang atmospheric content.
Live mula sa Pag-asa Weather and Flood Forecasting Center, ito ang Panahon TV na simula Lunes hanggang Linggo, una maghatid sa inyo ng pinakabagong ulat panahon.
Ng wasay, babae, lalaki, bata, matanda, lalo na ang LGBT community, lahat tayo inaakay.
DepEd just also released their performance bonuses for those who are performing well, with awards reaching up to 35,000 for those who are recognized as good teachers, outstanding teachers, and very, very soon they will get their mandated increase in salaries as well. We already are starting to enrich the drug component, grade 4 up to senior high school. We are going to enrich also matter of reproductive health because teenage pregnancies are rising. Going to enrich also programs on disaster preparedness. That is for formal education. But the most important contribution in these 50 days is the setting up of the alternative learning systems because we recognize that not all will be accommodated, will be caught by the formal learning system. That is very important.
and wala po silang ilalabas sa kanilang buhay. Ang gagawin po natin sa mga remote areas ay lalagyan pa rin po natin ng mga health centers yan at magtapalaga tayo ng either midwife or nurse. Pero imamandato natin sa ating mga LGU partners na yung doktor nila ay pupunta sa mga remote areas at least twice a year. Ito po ay sinisimulan na natin ngayon, pero ang tinitingnan natin na within 6 months, matingnan na natin yung 20 million tourist Filipinos na within one year, mabigay na yung karapatang lunas.
I've known him to be very protective to women and children. He would see to it that justice is duly served to these abused women. That's why he created in Davao City a special council for violence against women and children, hiring women lawyers, well-trained and equipped women lawyers to render free legal services to these abused women.
The mandate of the HUD-C and all the key shelter agencies on urban development has, I think, been overlooked in the past years. This is key as it provides a platform for a more holistic approach to our concerns on housing and better engagement with the LGUs, who are at the forefront of the government's housing programs. Community-led approaches have been started through People's Plans that have so far benefited more than 12,000 informal settlers living along Metro Manila's waterways. We need to learn more from these successes and mainstream them in collaboration with DILG and the LGUs. In this approach, the private sector has a role here, but they follow the lead of the community and the aims of the government. As a safety net, each key shelter agency should also have whistleblowing programs as an anti-corruption measure. This has already been mandated by the Governance Commission for GOCCs and will be cascaded into each key shelter agency. Yes, we agree with the President that there should be no demolition without relocation, and HUD-C will be taking a more proactive role in monitoring compliance with the President's directive to ensure that all basic services, including access to livelihood opportunities and health, are ready at relocation sites before any demolition. Ako naman, ever since sinabi ko na buo ang suporta ko kay Pangulong Duterte. Yung sa akin lang, galing kaming dalawa sa lokal, kaya sanay kami sa grassroots-oriented movement. Yung inaasahan ko lang ay sana matutukan natin yung mga kababayan nating mahihirap, lalo na yung mga nasa kanayunan, na mabigyan sila ng tamang pagkakataon para naman guminhawa ang kanilang mga buhay.
We all want to live in a paradise-like land. Kaya ayaw ng Pangulo na masira ang kapaligiran. Iisa lang ang ating tahanan. Batong buhay na ating tungtungan, huwag nating hayaan na maging libingan dahil sa kapabayaan.
This is gonna be the best president we've ever had. Really. Guaranteed. The best. You know why? Because of his heart. You need heart, and you need will, and you need integrity. And itong tatlo, meron dyan sa kanya.
Ongoing ho yung audit ng mga mine sites. Up to now, we have already suspended 7. 8 na, kasi isa sa Mindanao, yung sa Claver, yesterday. At by next week, na lahat ng audit ng mga mine sites sa Mindanao, by Monday. Ito ang malulong makonang na kung nakikita talagang may usa ang komunidad sa mga mine sites, walang talagang kaagad. At saka, itong punong na aalagaan din yung mga tao na doon nagtatrabaho sa mine sites. Ang paninindigan ng Presidente at ito lang sa akin ay social justice. Para sa akin yung social justice ay ang resources ng Pilipinas ay dapat ma-enjoy ng mga Pilipino. For example, here sa Mindanao. Yung resources ng Mindanao hindi na-enjoy ng mga taga-Mindanao. Mali yan. At ito ang panunumpa ko sa lahat ng permits, sa lahat ng clearances, lahat-lahat. Yung number 1 at number 2 at number 3 hanggang sa dulo. Criteria. Sa lahat ng decisions na gagawin ng DNR ay ang makontrol. Yung kabutihan ng pinakamarami.
The answer to the overwhelming clamor for a truly transparent government is long overdue. For many years, the public has been waiting for the Freedom of Information Law, but it only took 23 days for President Duterte to embody the freedom of information through Executive Order Number 2.
The Executive Order on Freedom of Information opens the executive branch along with the agencies below it to the people. It makes government as transparent as ever. The importance of the Executive Order on Freedom of Information is that it strengthens the right to information as enshrined in our Constitution. When the Executive Order on Freedom of Information is implemented, we expect a decline in corruption as government people become more prudent in what they do. The Executive Order on the Freedom of Information is very important to President Rodrigo Duterte because transparency and good governance are cornerstones of this administration. The Executive Order on Freedom of Information encourages citizen participation. When there is engagement, everyone becomes a partner for change.
Hindi nagawa ng ilang dosenang taon, nagawa ni Presidente Duterte sa isang pirma lang. Kaso lang, ang sakop lang ng Freedom of Information ng Administrasyong Duterte ay ang ehekutibo. Hindi niya pwedeng pakialaman yung Kongreso, hindi niya pakialaman yung Hudikatura. Mga sangayon ng gobyerno na may karapatan din ng mga taong malaman kung ano nangyayari sa loob. Maganda yung ginawa ng Presidente Duterte. Ngayon, hindi na pwedeng i-dribble yan o upuan yan ng mga mambabatas, ng mga kongresista at senador. Kailangan ngayon, nasa Kongreso ngayon, ang hamon na sa lalong madalit panahon, magpasa na sila ng batas sa Freedom of Information para lahat sakop, hindi lang ehekutibo, kundi pati legislatura, pati hudikatura, at lahat ng sangay at tanggapan ng gobyerno.
Pagkakapantay-pantay, walang mahirap, walang mayaman, walang api, walang nagahari. Mahirap bang ma-achieve? For the President, federalism is the solution, and his partners for change are growing.
All of us want peace.
May historical roots na dapat ang Pilipinas ay maging federal system. Gusto nating lutasin ang mga problema sa Mindanao. Meron ding mga desire sa ating mga kababayang katutubo sa Northern Luzon. At nakita naman natin ang ating bansa ay may mga particularities ang mga regions. So talagang parang bagay sa Pilipinas ang isang federal setup. So sa patuloy na pagdadaos natin ng mga education campaign, we are hopeful na mas marami pa ang makakaintindi ano ang mga basic principles ng federalism. Very simple lang ito. Power sharing, letter P. Resources sharing, letter R. Respect for all cultures, letter R. And D, development for all, PRRD. O pwede na rin natin sabihin, President Rudy Roa Duterte.
December 2014, sabi niya, gusto ko lang baguhin ng sistema. Baka pwede natin subukan yung federalism. So, maalala ko 2014, umikot kami. Punta kami ng Legazpi. Nandun yung Bicol Autonomy Movement. Yun yung first federalism speak engagement. Then, pumunta kami ng Utuan. Doon na nag-umpisa. Sabi niya, Bong, ikot na natin. Kunin natin yung pulso ng tao para sa pulso. Wala talaga yung presidente. So, doon niya naramdaman na talagang mas interesado pala yung tao sa kanya. Kasi hindi nila masyadong iniintindi yung federalism kung ano ito.
When we come back, alamin natin ang iba pang partners for change.
I can commit today to the Republic of the Philippines and its people. If you hurry up the federal system of government and you can submit it to the Filipino people by the 4th, 5th year, kasi proseso yan. You call for a referendum and after that call for a presidential election. I will go. Sibat na.
Well, ako po'y lubos na natutuwa kasi po ako ang Pangulo ng Partidong PDP Laban at matagal na po namin panawagan ito since the 1980s pa. Ngayon, katulong na namin ang mismong Pangulo ng bansa, ang ating Presidente, ang mahal nating Presidente, si Mayor Duterte, na nagsasabi na mag-federalism na tayo. Tandaan nyo na 21 ang miyembro po ng majority dyan at kaming lahat ay suportado namin ang programa ng gobyerno ni President Duterte. Nakapirma po kami dyan sa isang parang manifesto. And then yung tatlo naman na hindi sumama sa amin na sabi nila, ibilang nyo kami sa minority. Pero sinabi naman nila, we will be a responsible minority na hindi lang sila hahadlang na wala namang dahilan. So they will, sabi nila, ang gusto nilang bantayan is yung pagkakagastusan ng pera, to be sure na ang gagastusin na pera ay sa responsableng pamamaraan. Alam nyo, madali lang maging partner for change ni Pangulong Duterte. Una sa lahat, mahalin natin ang ating bansa. Ibig sabihin nun, handa tayong magsakripisyo para sa ating bansa. Pag-isipan natin ang mga problema ng ating bansa and then mag-contribute po tayo ng ideas.
I have been watching. And I see that change is really happening. Kung tuloy-tuloy at iingatan natin ang pagbabago, magiging maginhawa ang buhay ng susunod na henerasyon.
Federal parliamentary. Then bahala na yung framers of the new constitution kung anong pinakamagandang i-adapt. Yung poorer regions, pwede mo siyang ihalo doon sa mayaman region. Poverty, peace and order. I think federalism is a more long-term solution to those problems.
Ang Pangulo ay tulad lang ng isang ama na mahigpit. Ngunit walang ibang layunin kundi ang mabuting kalagayan ng pamilya. Tayo naman ang magpapatuloy na matapang niyang sinimulan. Sana dapat tayong sumunod sa kanyang puso at pananaw.
I want to be a partner of change with the Filipino people. And not only I, DNR wants to be a partner for change. And the first phase of being a partner for change is we have to share the same heart. And this is love of God and love of country.
By stopping corruption and elite. And of course, the other change would be producing more for the Philippine people.
I have asked our staff in the government to make their offices and procedures more friendly to the public.
Announcing again that there should be no demolition without relocation.
In the next 6 months, we will have a comprehensive check-up package for all the 20 million poorest Filipinos so that we can identify among them who will need tertiary care.
Hindi po ako magtatry na mag-drugs, mag-dealer.
By supporting the peace process that the President is pushing for.
Para maging partner tayo sa pagbabago, kinakailangan na tinatapatan din ito ng pagkilos ng pinakamaraming mga estudyante para dun sa mga pagbabagong inaasam natin.
Ang magiging kasangga sa pagbabago, unang-una, disiplina sa sarili.
The first 50 days of the President is indeed his precious gift for us. Simula lang yan ng golden wisdom of change. Kung napanood nyo to, kwento nyo rin sa mga apo nyo para ngayon pa lang, partner for change na sila.